Alright, what's up y'all, it's LakerFan here. As y'all can see by the title of today's video, we're here to talk about every slasher's worst nightmare on NBA 2K21. It's what you're seeing on the screen right now. 7'3" anything. On the offensive end, they're going to throw up uncontestable post hooks over your head all day. And on the defensive end, they're way too tall for you to be going in and just dunking on every single play. And with you as a slasher, you can't take advantage of their lack of lateral quickness or speed because all they have to do is protect the paint on you. And this is why this is the worst nightmare of any slasher in 2K21. So, I hope y'all enjoy the gameplay. If you do, feel free to drop a like, sub if you're new, turn on them noties, all that good stuff. Let's try this 1 to 1K likes in the first 24 hours. So as y'all can see, we're going against the glass cleaning finisher with post score takeover, SS1, 7'3". I'm on my 92 overall, pure slasher, 6'10", and even at that, I feel like my build is actually a pretty good height in comparison to a lot of the slashers out there. A lot of y'all might be around 6'8", 6'7", something like that. And you can see on the very first play, it's obviously like just embodies everything of what I talked about in the intro. Snatch block as I go in for the dunk, and then he just throws up the post hook over my head. So with this gameplay, however, there was a lot of weird stuff going on, and this is why we're here to talk about every slasher's worst nightmare, because this guy wasn't even spamming the post hooks or anything, but you can see, gets the block, gets the layup just like that, post takeover at 4-0 in the game, man, Hall of Fame rim protector, all types of stuff like that. And honestly, I do speak to this whole post hook spam thing, as most post scorers go with the pure blue or something like that as well, so they don't have as high of a block rating or as high of the interior defense as this guy has. However, at 7'3", it's already tremendous in the first place. No matter what your archetype is, you could be the pure blue and you're still going to have 90 plus interior defense and stuff like that too. So anyway, like I said, this guy is the red and blue combination, and look at the shots that he's making. This is what I'm here to talk about. On the offensive end, it's so much easier for him to do anything against me, and on my offensive end, it's so hard for me to do anything against him. And everything he was doing on the offensive end should be guardable for me to do. You're going to see he's going to try to push me out of the way and just take the contested layup right there. And just like that, I don't get the body up animation. He dunks right over my head. It's 12-0. I feel like I really haven't even been exploited that much in the first place. And again, I want to mention to everybody, clearly I'm not saying what's going on in this gameplay is the reason that I lose to people like this in the first place. Like I said, I feel like I should be able to defend what he's doing pretty well to some extent, because standing layups are not that dominant. Standing dunks like that, they don't happen too often, especially against somebody of my height. And even if I only have like 65 interior defense, I should still be able to guard that at a decent rate. But for the people out there who just spam the post hooks and stuff like that all day, if you're a slasher and you've experienced what it's like to play a post scorer, you know you're up against, your back is against the wall literally all game. If you mess up once, you are done. And then if he messes up once, it's no problem, because all he has to do is just stand in the paint and be tall. That's literally all you have to do when it comes to defending slashers if you're a 7'3" post scorer. And half the time, I feel like these post scorers could literally beat me with their eyes closed. On defense, all they have to do is just sit in the paint, hold their hands up, and hope for the best. I'm not going to just sit here and dunk on him every single time that way. And you can see, it's so easy for him to get the contest and stuff like that too. And on the offensive end, all they have to do is just aim their post hook properly to where it's slightly left or slightly right, and you're not going to miss it probably more than, you know, one time out of 15 or 20. That's really what it comes down to. But as I said previously in this video, this guy was doing a little bit of different stuff. He wasn't exactly doing the typical post score stuff, and it kind of threw me off a little bit because I was out here trying to defend him. I was playing my typical post score defense, trying to get pokes on the post spins and stuff like that, but really he was just doing some bot stuff. Honestly, like I said, shots like those are not going to drop. Standing layups, they just suck. That's just the truth to it and entirely. And honestly, that speaks to the slashers even more. You can see, again, I feel like that was a great angle for the contact dunk to the left. He gets another block on that. Now, I was able to make him jump right there. Honestly, it was a really unorthodox situation where I feel like I wasn't even able to get any, like, as far as, like, dunks and stuff. If he didn't jump right there, and like I said, why even jump when you're 7'3"? But clearly, that's why you jump, because I can't even score on it, bro. This video right here is to show you guys how much of a struggle it is to really score on these people when you have no mid-range, no three-pointer to your game at all. And a lot of people, they sit here and degrade the slashing and stuff when shots like those miss, man. It's ridiculous. Like, and it's so hard. And I understand a lot of the guards that I play against, they critique my play and they just say, like, how could you even have fun doing that? Well, I don't plan to play against you guys, all right? I don't know what the PGs are coming on this 1v1 court in the first place and expecting they can get stops on my build or that guy's build in the first place. Now, I don't know who's against that, who feels like it should be any way otherwise. And honestly, it's really sad because they still can. And you can see this dude is over here getting blow-bys on me at 7'3", and I'm 6'10". Like, I just find it so crazy that this is all able to be going on. But anyway, to get back to that whole point guard topic, I will say the PGs are literally unguardable in their own right, because a build like mine or a build like this guy's right here when it comes to people who can actually shoot threes and stuff like that, and then you add in the speed boost glitch, the Curry slide, the behind the back, all types of stuff like that, play shots can really rule this 1v1 court too. But don't get me wrong, they cannot get stops against this guy's build right here, and really it's going to be hard to get stops against my build as well. But I would say this Slasher definitely does not rule this 1v1 court. Anyway, you can see me just coming out here missing awful layups and dunks all game. You know, and that one right there, it said I shot it wide left. This is one of the other like downsides of using your meter as a Slasher as well. And a lot of people may ask why I even have my meter on in the first place. I still upgraded my post hook, but I don't use it too often. I try to do my slashing ability the best I can and not resort to the post hooks in any situation. And even against this big man, it's not going to help anything. He's going to get contests on them really easily. And honestly, I just, like I said, don't really like to resort to it too often. But anyway, now you're going to see it started off 20-2, right? I was out here left for dead. I think I started the game, 2 for 9 or something like that. Awful start to the game. Horrible. But now I'm coming out here able to use my speed boost glitch thing. And this is exactly what I'm talking about with the PGs using it as well. Now, that right there, a little bit of a bailout. I totally understand. You know, that probably could have been a good shot block opportunity. And this is really what it all comes down to with the slashing style. The same way I get bailed out in situations where I shouldn't have made shots like this one right here, I also get really screwed over in situations where I feel like I should have had easy contact dunks like I did earlier in the game. It's a whole lot easier to use when you have the slash takeover. That's an obvious thing in the first place. I do feel like this takeover is massive when it comes to improving your slashing ability, but either way, in the first place, it's going to be really hard for you to pop this takeover on because you're not going to be able to get the dunks or blocks or anything like that when you're playing a legitimate post score. Now this guy, fortunately, was taking a lot of standing layups, stuff like that, taking really bad shots as far as inefficient things that he might get blocked on or contested really easily, and then I'll grab my rebounds. Like I have 7 rebounds and 2 blocks in this game, gold rim protectors, so fortunately I was able to build my takeover up. As you saw, he had his takeover after 4-0 in the game, and that rim protector really is a legit thing when it comes to building that takeover up. But anyway, to finalize my thoughts on this video, it is very hard for a Slasher to compete with a post scorer in this game. And for anybody who's on a point guard, I totally understand your situation. It's really hard for you to get stops against either of the builds that are on the court right now, but just also understand what you're going into with that 1v1 court experience as well. It's really hard for me or that guy to defend you either if you're literally just able to shoot the ball. Now, I do understand for all the non-play shots out there who hop on this 1v1 court with a PG build, yeah, it's definitely going to be a tough experience for you. As far as the struggles that you're going to face when you play on this court, because you're going to deal with the same problem as me, where they're just going to sag off on you and make you shoot, but I'm not shooting because I already know I can't. For a build that has intermediate 3-point rating, you're probably taking those wide open shots and bricking them, and just like that, now you're undersized, don't have the good defense to compete with either of these builds on the court right now. And trust me, if I'm playing a pure playmaker, I'm sagging off all game too, or anything less, like a pure play lock, anything that's not a play shot pretty much. I'm just going to sag off all game until you make a shot, and once you do make a shot, then it becomes a horrible defensive experience for me. However, I'm not trying to tear this build down entirely and just say that the one that I'm on is awful, because I do think this is still a good build. And you guys saw what I was doing with the speed boost glitch. That thing is crazy on this build for being 6'10". Honestly, I don't even know what this looks like on 7.3s, but I'm sure it's awful. It's an awful experience to defend that. But anyway, hopped on the 30-game win streak. First time I really got on this 1v1 court legitimately on my pure Slasher. Still only a 92 overall, and I only have like 7 defensive badges too. So I'm not trying to tear this build down entirely and say that it's an awful 1v1 experience, but whenever you play against a post scorer, you're always going to be at a disadvantage with this build because you cannot take advantage of its lack of speed and lateral quickness. It doesn't matter how slow he is, all he ever has to do is protect one spot on the paint. So it's different for being a point guard where you can actually stretch the defense out a little bit and make him step out, and as soon as he does step out, then you get easy takes to the hoop. I'm having contested takes to the hoop every single time I go toward there. And it's different on his offensive end because he can just take contested post hooks, but the game treats the post hooks completely differently than layups and dunks and stuff like that. So anyway, I hope you all enjoyed the video. If you did, feel free to drop a like, sub if you're new, turn on them noties, all that good stuff. Let's try these 1 to 1K likes in the first 24 hours. And if you made it to the end of the video, put 25 in the comments to show support you all the way through. And real quickly, I do want to show you guys exactly what I'm talking about. So for anybody who's not a 7'3", this speed boost glitch goes crazy because a lot of these PGs, they try to guard me out to the perimeter, and then it allows me to actually take advantage of the fact they're stepping out of the paint. And even if they don't step out the paint, look at this. I mean, I just catch them out of position and stuff like that easy because they are so much more tempted to try and bump me and stuff like that. And like I said, for the post scores, it's just constant. Sit in the paint, allow your height to dominate on defense in comparison to my pure Slasher who can only score from the paint. And don't get me wrong, I know exactly what I'm stepping into when I hop on this 1v1 court. This is the post scorers court. This is where they're going to rule, especially for my slasher, where it's the exact problem I talked about in this video, where if they just sit in the paint and use their height as the form of defense against me, then I'm simply just gonna have no counter. And then exactly what's happening right here. I literally forced the pickup. He goes with the shot stick aiming on the post hook. Boom, center, green, 22%, doesn't matter. I mean, bro, it's just so tough. And the fact that that's a hittable shot from even further away and even more contest is what really makes this game so hard to play when it comes to the 1v1 court. But like I said, we still pulled off the 30 streak. And then you can see I go for the forced pickup, stuff like that. When you can actually perform that, it's all good. But I mean, it's very rare that you run into post scorers who actually will let you perform things like that because of just them spamming the post spins and whatnot, all types of stuff like that. So anyway, I hope y'all enjoyed the video. If you did, feel free to drop a like, sub if you're new, turn on the noties, all the good stuff. Like I said, let's try these 1 to 1K likes in the first 24 hours. Put 25 in the comments to show your support you made all the way through. Other than that, hope y'all enjoyed. Take it easy, man. Peace.